last summer, I saw something wearing my friend's face. You ever hear voices in the woods? Not just like, oh, maybe someone's out hiking, but voices that sound close, too close, that makes your stomach drop because no one's supposed to be there. Yeah, that happened to me, and I still don't know what the hell it was. So this was the summer after graduation. We were finally done with high school. Me, Aaron, Jay, Priya, and Tiff, 5 of us. We wanted to celebrate the way you only can when you're 18 and invincible. Jay found this camping spot way out in Wisconsin called Indian Mound Reservation. Locals just call it IMR. It's one of those Boy Scout properties, kind of maintained, but mostly left alone now. Thick woods, old trails, and yeah, deep Native American history. The kind of land that holds on to things. I brought my dog, Nova, black lab mix, sweet as hell, chill in the car, never bites. But the second we got out near the edge of the reservation, she changed. I mean, ears back, tail stiff. She was whining, pacing in circles, growling at absolutely nothing. I figured maybe she smelled a coyote or something, but even after 45 minutes, she wouldn't calm down. It was late afternoon, maybe 4:30. Summer light just started to mellow out, sky kind of grayed over with clouds, like the sun was struggling to push through. The whole place had that washed out color tone, pines and birches in muted greens, the dirt path pale and dry. Everything looked normal, but felt wrong. You know what I mean? We were still wandering around, trying to find a flat spot for the tents when Nova just froze. Dead stop. Wouldn't move an inch. I kept tugging her leash, but she just growled low and locked her legs. Priya walked over to check what was freaking her out, and that's when we noticed it. This weird pile of stones. Like, not random. They were arranged, almost like these old school burial markers you see in documentaries. I tied Nova to a branch and walked toward it. From far, it looked small, but as we got closer, the thing opened up into this shallow pit, like a circle had been carved right into the earth. The air shifted the second I stepped in, dead still and way colder than it should have been. Summer evening, but I swear it felt like late October. I started noticing these small, flat stones near the center. Some of them had symbols scratched into them. Nothing super clear, but like spiral shapes, slashes, maybe even letters. I don't know. But standing there, I got this wave of dizziness, like heavy lid, sleepy, out of nowhere. That's when Aaron, he's this lean guy, glasses, always makes stupid bets, called out, said our names loudly. He was just standing outside the pit, looking concerned. We climbed out, kind of groggy, and walked over toward him. He said the weirdest thing. He thought we were messing with him because apparently, the second we stepped inside the circle, we just stood there, frozen, staring at nothing. He said he was about to come get us when he heard footsteps behind him, heavy ones, and Nova started going nuts, barking and howling like she was ready to fight, so he grabbed her and rushed over toward us. The thing is, I remember moving around in there, checking out the stones. I swear I walked the whole circle, but according to Aaron, we never moved. Anyway, we bummed around for a while, trying to pick a spot. Jay found this clearing up on a small ridge, slightly sloped but dry, with this sick overlook facing west. We could see the tree line dipping into some valley far off, and even spot a chunk of what we thought was more of these old burial mound areas through the gaps. We were joking, setting up tents, collecting firewood, cracking open drinks, but I kept hearing these voices. At first, I thought maybe I was just hearing echoes or something bouncing off the hills, but they weren't echoes. They were close. Not whispers or yelling, just normal speaking voices, but like muffled and garbled. I couldn't make out any words, just the rhythm of the conversation, and it sounded like it was right over my shoulder. But every time I turned, there was nothing. No one. I tried to brush it off, kept telling myself it was just other campers, but there weren't any other campers nearby. The ranger station was miles away. No cars, no smoke. Still, I told myself I was just overthinking. We were about done setting up when Tiff came jogging back from the trees. Dude looked spooked, pale, breathing hard. He kept glancing over his shoulder like someone was behind him. "I swear someone was following me," he said. Didn't run, just walked behind me, step by step. I thought it was one of you guys screwing around. We laughed. Of course we did. Said, "Dude, it's a forest. Probably a deer." But even Nova had her eyes fixed on the path he came from. We tried to forget it, made a fire, cooked hot dogs, and passed around some snacks. Everything felt halfway normal. But one thing that felt odd was how quiet the wood was. Too quiet. No crickets, no wind, like the place was holding its breath. Later, around 10, I crawled into my tent and realized I had left my flashlight in the car. It was a little way off, maybe 200 meters down a trail, past the burial marker rocks, so I headed out, no big deal. Halfway there, I saw Aaron. Or I thought I saw Aaron. He was ahead of me, maybe 40, 50 feet, walking toward a different trail that veered toward the cliffside. I recognized his big maroon hoodie and the lazy shuffle walk he does, and he was whistling this dumb tune we'd been all joking about earlier. So I shouted, "Bro, where are you going?" "I'm headed to the car. Need my torch." He didn't answer, just turned and grinned a little, and then said, "Why are you following me?" His voice had this delay, like an echo, or like he was practicing the line first. I laughed, called out again, "I'm not following you, man. Chill." But he kept walking faster, turned the corner, and disappeared into the dark. I got to the parking area, grabbed my flashlight. On my way back, I paused at the fork in the trail, looked down the path he'd taken. It was just black, silent. When I got back to camp, I was like, "Yo, Aaron, why'd you bail on me? I saw you walking off." He looked at me confused as hell. "What are you talking about? I've been sitting here for the past 20 minutes. Tiff chimed in. "He didn't leave. We've all been here." My blood went cold because I know what I saw. The hoodie, the whistle, the voice. That was him. I tried to shake it off. They said I was tired, or drunk, or both, and honestly, I started to believe it, until what happened at 3 a.m. I woke up needing to pee. Sucks, I know. So I grabbed my flashlight and walked off into the woods a bit, did my business, turned back, and that's when I heard it. The sound of a tent zipper. I froze. Then a few seconds later, I saw someone step out of a tent. It looked like Aaron again. He walked a bit, lit a cigarette. I watched the lighter flick 3 times before it caught a flame. Each strike of the lighter lit his face for maybe half a second, and every single time it looked wrong. Not dramatic, just off. The first flash hit his face, and his eyes were all white. No pupils, no focus. I felt this jolt go through me. Second flick, his pupils were back, but they were tiny. Dots. The third flash, his face moved. not flinched, but really moved. The skin shifted sideways, slow, as if it wasn't attached right, sliding across his skull. I kept staring, expecting the features to settle back to normal, but they didn't. His proportions kept slipping. It felt like watching someone wear Aaron's face, like a skin suit. He finally lit that cigarette and took one slow drag. That's when he looked at me and said, "Can you hear me?" And his voice, it was Aaron's voice, but like it had been recorded, played back. I said, "Yeah, man, what's up with your face?" He said louder, sharper, "Can you hear me?" I was like, "Yeah, chill. You trying to wake everyone up?" He shook his head and turned toward the cars. I followed, still thinking he was just messing with me, except when I rounded the car where he'd gone, no one was there. Like, no one. He vanished. I stormed back, pissed, went to his tent, yanked it open, and he and Jay were both already awake, sitting upright, wide-eyed. They'd said someone had unzipped their tent 10 minutes earlier, opened it, waited, then zipped it back up. They hadn't moved because they were terrified, but they swore it wasn't them. I don't know what I followed that night, but it looked like Aaron, walked like him, smiled like him, whistled like him, asked the exact question he would, but it wasn't him. None of us slept much after that. Nova didn't lie down at all, just kept pacing in circles around our tent like she was guarding something. In the morning, we packed up fast, didn't even stay for breakfast. The trail felt heavier somehow. I've told people this story before. They say it's stress, sleepwalking. Maybe, but I know what I saw. And the worst part is, I don't think it left. On our way back in the car, I caught a glimpse, rearview mirror, split second. Aaron, standing behind the trees near the edge of the reservation. Same maroon hoodie, same posture, just watching. I turned around fast, heart in my throat, but Aaron was right there, in the back seat, between Priya and Tiff, head down, scrolling through his phone. He didn't look up the rest of the drive, not once. I don't think it wanted to hurt us. I think it just wanted to be us.